That's an indication, just to point the fact that they give jobs to Nigerians.
No. If you cannot afford not to. But let me give you a paint a scenario. In some of these Chinese companies, all the Nigerians working with them, apart from the fact that they are casualized, they are paid next to nothing. They don't have permanent staff. I cited an example with Alan Dick. They came here because what they do, even one of the speaker mentioned it, that what they do when they come here, they come under the pretense of investing direct foreign investment, and then they don't have anything here. Everything, all the equipment are on lease, and then they give contracts at next to nothing to Nigerians, and then one day, after collecting money from service providers, one day they declare redundancy and just pack their bags and go. Because since they don't have direct investment here, everything is on lease, they can just afford to go.
Was this mentioned at the conference?
It was mentioned. One of the speakers, one of the lady day before yesterday, she was a director in the Ministry of Interior. She mentioned it that
did the government respond?
Yes, the minister. These are some of the problems that I highlighted during the conference. And so the essence of all of this, trying to automate the system, was to check some of these essence. And then a lady also yesterday said that when she was doing evaluation, she discovered that in some cases her signature had been forged.
Where is she a government official? Or
government official, director in the ministry also.
Her signature forged.
Yes, and then Captain Hinacho said the reason for all of this, because there's so much corruption in the system. Now they want to automate the system so that when you are applying, you don't need to sit down next to the man who is going to approve your application. And so, because also that has helped to corrupt the system. Yes. Correct? No, corrupt the system. How? That has corrupted the system a lot. The situation where you already know the man who is going to approve your application, and so the man tells you, no, for me to approve this, you have to, give me.
Even though it's automated?
No, that was before now. Oh. Now they are trying to automate the system so that, some of these anomalies will be corrected. And then, coming to the issue of Nigerians, you said they employ Nigerians. Some of these Nigerians employed, because there are no jobs, you have a lot of unemployed graduates roaming the streets, and because there are no jobs, the few ones that are employed, at the end of the day, some of them are used to do these dirty jobs. And in some cases, they tell you Nigerians, where they say Nigerians are understudying these experts. Yeah. In the recent, when you go for implementation and evaluation, there are really no Nigerians understudying them. So all of these are it's a big problem.
So how do you recommend this layers of checks to be put in place? Because if the immigration person says, I went there, I got a call, get back to the office. And so this is a problem.
What was then another issue that was raised by an immigration officer was the fact that the immigration people are supposed to do the evaluation, but when it's time for renewal,
who does it?
The Ministry of Interior does the renewal. And so there is a break in communication. And so now what they are asking for is a synergy between both departments to ensure that before you renew an expatriate quota, you would have looked at the records of the reviewer.
What role does the police have there? Did they say anything?
No, the police we are not part of this. It was Immigration, Prison Services, and the Department of Citizens and Business of the Ministry of Interior. And so, all of this put together, the checks, I talked about implementation, proper implementation, and also to check abuses, because what happened is some of the fears and some of the issues raised also were some we had highlighted in this same telecom sector, a situation where you give a man expatriate quota for a specific job, and the man comes in here, he's trading in something else. Well, I don't see any reason why you should give somebody expatriate quota to come and trade in iron rods in Nigeria. I don't see why you should give if you are bringing in equipment, in some instance, even in the expatriate quota that you are giving, if you are bringing in specialized equipment, there should be at least Nigerians that will understudy. But we already have, even in the telecoms, I don't think there is any equipment that can be installed, that cannot be installed by a Nigerian. Because we have, when the communists first came, when the whole thing was novel to our country, they came with their contractors who were installing this mast. And some Nigerians understood it. People, some Nigerians that were genuinely interested, even some that were not, that were just onlookers, because it was easy to learn. Now we even have local fabricators, you know. But the issue is, these local fabricators, how well have these telecom companies encouraged them? Because it is easier for them to bring these goods from their country, ensuring capital flight back to their country. Okay,
let me bring this in, because people seem to be tweeting and asking questions on this one. They wonder what is, because if to them it comes across as though is the government relying on this to a large extent as opposed to perhaps a lesser extent in creating jobs, because a lot has got to do with creating that investment opportunity for Nigerians to even invest in the country in the first place.
Fantastic. If you have a broken chain, you need to put all the links together. You cannot just say, okay, since you've not been able to put, you know, a larger platform, forget about the smaller platforms. So by the time you put the smaller platforms together, if you are able to put the smaller platforms together and you save, let's say, 10,000 jobs for Nigeria in this sector, and then you go to the other sector, put smaller platforms, and you're able to save 20,000 jobs together, by doing that, you would have saved 30,000 jobs without necessarily looking for how to do a bigger platform. That's the effort of government, and that's why we all need to commend them and call out to these government officials, you know, put them on their toe to ensure that the proper thing is done.
You know, now you just talked about government officials. I want us to look at it critically, because if we have government officials saying that superiors will call them and tell them to back off and come back to the office in a case like this, and we don't even have proper monitoring of all of this system, aren't we to be blamed for all of this?
Some of the recommendations, because at the committee sessions yesterday, some of the recommendations were there should be a proper channel to reporting incidents like
We've
this.
Always had channels to report.
No, because if the same man that you're going to report to is the man that is calling you back to the office, then there won't be any need reporting. But if you know that the man you're going to report this matter to, it's a different person altogether who probably does not even know you, there's a channel for reporting these incidents. You know, you have a department in the ministry that you can report this to. This was what we identified in company A, B, and C.
And has that been created?
Yes, these are some of the recommendations yesterday.
Right.
And so this was what we noted. And but I was informed by a superior officer in the office to come back to the office and they forget about that company. You know, you just put it down there quietly. The man who is to do the evaluation will see that and say, okay, we know that company A and B has defaulted in
then shouldn't the monitoring team be independent of all of this?
And then also they talked about the technical expertise for the monitoring team, that if you're going to evaluate somebody who is a technician, you need to have at least some ideas, a bit of knowledge in that field, you know, because if you don't, you go there, he'll bamboozle you.